podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Deus Ex Media.
We wanted to take a second at the top of the episode to let everybody know that there is a brand new podcast out in the Deus Ex Media family of podcasts. If you like good comedy, good literary analysis, or just you like listening to people make fun of themselves, you should definitely go and check out Burn Before Reading with Christina and Leela. And now on to the show. That afternoon, we had an assembly at the campfire to burn Beckendorf's burial shroud and say our goodbyes. Even the Ares and Apollo cabins called a temporary truce to attend. Beckendorf's shroud was made out of metal links, like chainmail. I didn't see how it would burn, but the fates must have been helping out. The metal melted in the fire and turned to golden smoke, which rose into the sky. The campfire flames always reflected the campers' moods, and today they burned black. I hoped Beckendorf's spirit would end up in Elysium. Maybe he'd even choose to be reborn and try for Elysium in 3 different lifetimes so he could reach the Isles of the Blessed, which was like the underworld's ultimate party headquarters. If anyone deserved it, Beckendorf did.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Raye from Cabin 12.
And I'm Charlie from Cabin 13. And bro, I miss Taylor. She was supposed to be here.
Taylor continues to be ridiculously cursed, and events happen to Taylor at a rate which I could not fathom in my personal life.
It's like sitcom levels. Am I wrong? Like, she's that character in the background who just, like, runs in, like, this thing happened to me and this thing happened to me. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, wow, bro.
And you're like, oh, Taylor, except that she's your real life friend who has problems.
Yeah! Like, wow, bro. Cool story. I'm sorry, I guess. But, like, it always happens to you. Oh my goodness. Fucking terrible. She just wanted to let the listeners know that she has an undying love for Beckendorf. He's her son and boy. So
tragic.
That's why she wanted to be on for this chapter. She reserved this chapter, like, the last time I asked for reserved chapters, like, Battle of the Labyrinth, I think. Maybe even Titan's Curse? I don't know. Whenever I still had this up in our spreadsheet as an option, she was like, I also want that one. Sam did the same thing with his chapter. Both of them were just like, yeah, we'll just reserve for all the books at once. It's fine.
That's valid of them. It's better for you than when people don't ask for a chapter and then you're like, okay, I'll just do the scheduling myself, I guess.
I want some input. I want to know so I don't, like, give somebody a chapter just like, bro, this was so fucking boring of a chapter. And then I'll be like, I'm sorry. You didn't give me any input, so I don't know.
See, the truth is that no one would do that to you, because Percy Jackson is good and fun to read, and also,
you know what?
We have good professional podcasting guests.
This is true. You're right. We're not like the restricted section. We don't have to read about Quidditch.
Big mood.
Oh my goodness. So what happened in this chapter?
Okay.
Dude.
I didn't write down the chapter title. What is it? It's something.
Oh wait. Before that, I would like to say officially on the pod. I mean, we've told our Discord friends, because at the time of recording, guess what? A new book came out of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Chalice of the Gods. It's technically book 6 in this series.
Rick. Yeah, sure, Rick.
Even though all of Heroes of Olympus takes place in between The Last Olympian and Chalice of the Gods.
Whatever, man.
Rick. Rick, excuse you.
Make it make sense.
Make it a different series. It is, we do have confirmation that it's gonna be like, there's gonna be another book after that.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a trilogy. It's not fully confirmed, but it's gonna be a trilogy. Make it a separate series. Just make it its own thing, please.
Yep.
So we're not gonna cover that one after this, because then we'll be spoiling things.
Yeah, that would not make any sense whatsoever. Just like how it makes no sense that Rick is considering this the 6th Percy Jackson book.
Yeah. I'm not even like halfway into it. I haven't come across like any big things that are like, oh, this happened and this thing happened, like from Heroes, but still it makes sense that maybe you just like read that first.
Okay, so we read chapter 4, which was We Burn a Metal Shroud, which is accurate. It is not the main focus of the chapter, and it's also not funny, but it is a mood setter. You know what I mean? You read that, and then you're like, okay, I know what the tone is. I approve of this chapter title.
It does fit the tone, because it is kind of a bummer of a chapter all around.
Okay.
Now I'm the shitty guest, even though I'm the host. Who's like, wow, this chapter sucked. I don't think this chapter sucked.
It's supposed to be a bummer. It's effective.
Yeah, it does what it's meant to do. I don't know. I don't know what a better name for it would be. But we do need something that's like, equally upsetting. I eat some cardboard chocolate, like I'm sorry, I flipped to that page.
Percy does not tell us how the chocolate tastes.
He does not.
And I'm very curious.
I'm gonna harp on that chocolate when we get to it.
Good.
Just, there's a lot of things in this chapter that I'm like, huh. Okay.
My chapter title is Percy's Life Sucks and Everybody is Mad at Him just like usual.
Oh my god, it's literally like the Titan's Curse chapter, especially. Everybody hates me but the horse.
Yeah!
Except it's everybody hates him but the dog, who will technically see next chapter.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're on about yet. I mean, I know who the dog is, but
it's the name of the next chapter.
Oh, okay. I didn't even look at it. I am laser focused. Okay. Percy has a dream about Rachel having dreams. Dreamception. Percy and Annabeth do cabin inspection together, which is very sweet of them. Annabeth's siblings try to set them up by leaving them alone together, and it super does not work. We finally get the lore drop that demigod romance is okay because gods don't have DNA, which we've been talking about forever, but we will get to it.
I hate it so much, Rick.
Why is there a cat
Why are
here?
you like this?
Okay.
Does the cat have DNA?
Yes, my cat has DNA. She has little bastard DNA. Annabeth gets really pissed that everything is going so bad and Percy won't even date her, so she storms off. Percy talks to Selena and Clarice at Beckendorf's funeral and tries to convince Clarice to rejoin the fight, and my girl does not take that very well. And yeah, everyone's mad at him. The end.
Percy. Oh, how terrible it is to be a protagonist. Woe is me. Woe is me.
That's what Taylor is. She's a protagonist. Events continue to occur.
The world hates her. That's I think the title of her memoir is The World Hates Me. And then cursed by Zeus. I don't know how to title books. All right. So, we're gonna have a fun myth section, bro.
Oh boy.
Bro.
I don't even know when anything could have possibly come up. I'm like, that's gonna be the myth. I see. We're gonna talk about some Iliad.
Yeah, okay. I was like, I wonder if Ray's gonna know what's happening here. Okay. Well, in case you missed it. We're gonna talk about a little gal known as Briseis. Yeah, she might have been a big thing in the Iliad. There might have been, some arguments between who gets to have her as their concubine.
Oh boy. Oh, I remember this. Okay.
Yeah, this is what Rick pulled from for the whole chariot plot. Which, hey, I wonder if The Last Olympian is going to be based on the Iliad, because it's all about a battle in a city. I don't know.
God, your little shoulder movements while you were saying that.
I get into it, okay? So let me tell you about Briseis. I want to know why her name means daughter of Briseis. I'm very confused by this Wikipedia page. She's also known as Hippodamia? Okay, sure, whatever. So she is also kind of the thing that just initiates the plot of the Iliad. Very fun to note that. So, let's see. Do we have any idea? Okay, I was trying to figure out who's her parentage, because this page is not formatted the same way that I'm used to. Her dad is named Briseis. She's named after her dad?
So it's spelled slightly differently. His name is with a U and hers is with an I, which apparently means daughter of or something.
That's okay. I was, so confused. Interesting. Greece, what's going on? Please explain to me. So yeah, she's the daughter of Briseis, but with a U. And some lady, unnamed, and she had 3 brothers. And then her kingdom was just kind of, sacked.
As you do.
She was married to a prince. It's very cool. And then, yeah, the Achaeans sacked her city. And then she's, I can't fucking trying to describe these events sometimes. I'm I hate it.
The wiki page says, was given to Achilles, as a concubine. It's quite bad. It's quite bad.
It doesn't even say concubine in that sentence.
It's
just given to him.
Yeah.
And I'm bro, she is a literal, my brain is prisoner of war. Is that the right phrasing there? Prisoner of war?
Not really.
No?
I don't think.
There's other words for that.
I don't know how you phrase it when you get conquered and then your people get
she's a spoil of war? That's what it is. She is a spoil of war,
basically,
as a person.
Yeah. Which is a thing that you would do. You would sack a city and then you would take all their people and sell them into slavery and, And
then you take all their wives. You sell the men and you take the wives.
Yeah, totally normal and fine and cool. History is great.
Just wait, they do the same thing at the end of the Trojan War. I'm very upset about what happens to Cassandra.
Oh no.
Personally.
Oh no.
More reasons why I hate Agamemnon.
Well, at least so does Achilles, but not for good reasons.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. So Briseis is being fought over by Agamemnon and Achilles. Does it say exactly why? So she's given to Achilles as the war prize, and why is it Agamemnon? Okay, Agamemnon is compelled by Apollo to give up his own concubine, I guess, and demands Briseis. That's it. That's it. Seriously.
So Agamemnon would have been Achilles' lord, and so he's you owe that to me, I can demand whatever I want from you because I'm in charge of you. And Achilles is I guess so, but fuck you, I'm not fighting for you anymore.
Yeah, he's just no, you owe this to me, and that's...
Okay.
I don't like things about this for many reasons. If it wasn't a person, I think I would be on the side of Achilles, because dude, that's fucking rude. But also, it's a person. No one should have her.
No, it's quite bad. And so, I was about to ask, how do we feel about Rick reframing this so that in our version, it is a literal piece of property?
He makes it make sense in a modern sense.
Right. Well,
I think.
But it just feels... knowing that this is the origin of this story that Rick is telling makes me almost feel uncomfortable that we have reframed this person. Her role can be taken by a piece of property.
She's a sexy lamp, dude.
Yes.
She is a sexy lamp. We have replaced her with a chariot. We should have replaced her with a sexy lamp.
I'm just saying
I'm sorry,
that, like,
Briseis.
the allegory is uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, there are many things to be said here. Like, you're retelling the Iliad and making it more palatable for children and modern audiences.
As we frequently do in these books.
Yeah, like, some of that good, some of it not so good. I don't know, I don't think there's a way to feel totally good and totally bad about this.
Right, I'm not saying that it's, like, problematic for him to have told this story in this way. I'm just saying that, like, when you think about the implications, it's deeply, deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable that it's a female character that was turned into a flying chariot. But also, Rick is just like, hey, that story was really bad. I'm gonna change it, like, wholesale, and repackage it in a way that it's just, like, teenagers being dumb.
They sure
Tell me
are.
I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm just, like, fully, like, what the fuck, Agamemnon, though? I thought there was more to this story, and maybe it's because I read Percy Jackson and I was like, oh, like, whatever, she was supposed to be with Achilles because he did something or whatever, and then Agamemnon was like, no, it's mine, actually. Like, I don't know. Regardless, it's very dumb. But it is a story as old as time. I want that thing. No, I want that thing. No, I want that thing. No, I want that thing. Yeah?
Yeah.
You with me? Okay. There is more to this story.
I'm sure that we'll get further into the later events as things occur.
I mean, there is one good, not good part. I'm trying to speak. There is one other part here that relates to what's happening, is that Achilles is so fucking pissed that he's just like, well, I'm not gonna fight now.
He is just sitting in his tent and being angry.
Yes, and I recommend y'all, like, watch the OSP videos. I think that's, like, one of the older videos on their channel, where they talked about the Iliad, and my goodness, it's just, like, Achilles in his little blanket fort, where he's just, like, sitting and pouting.
God.
Yeah, that's what I imagine.
You could subscribe to our Patreon, because we have just purchased the Gareth Hines Iliad graphic novel, and we're gonna cover it pretty soon. If you want to hear it on our bonus show.
And
anyways,
we've already covered another thing by Gareth Hines, which maybe we should have done after. It technically happens after, but
right. The Odyssey, guys.
The Odyssey. We did the Odyssey.
We read that first. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
I mean, Sea of Monsters came first. It's weird. There is no order. It's all made up.
Events simply occur.
Events do occur. Yeah. Anyway, Briseis deserved better.
Literally.
I'm pretty sure she's a character in the Song of Achilles, right? Yeah? Yeah.
I would like to read that someday. It sounds like it slaps.
I know that's a thing. Sounds pretty gay to me, you know?
It's nice that we can still say that books are good.
We can in fact say that books are good.
Anyways.
Hey, look, betrayal in art, film, and other media. Why is the Iliad on here? Literally, that's what she's from. She's from the fucking Iliad. Yeah, people have made, like, many things that she's in. Including that really bad movie, Troy. You know that one.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It might be required that we have to watch it.
Oh, I don't want to.
I don't really want to either, but I feel like I've been told by so many people that it's kind of like a thing. All I know, I definitely watched it in class in, like, high school or something. I remember nothing except, like, the actors in it. And that apparently Achilles and Patroclus are cousins.
God. Just like Sailor Moon?
Yeah, literally what I was gonna say. How do you make something not gay? You make them cousins.
Normal. Very normal of them.
Hey, guess what? Percy and Annabeth are cousins. Does that make them gay?
No, they're not cousins, because gods don't have DNA.
Thank you.
Alright.
Time to talk about the chapter so I can get rid of that uncomfortable Wikipedia page.
Alright, let's get into it. Let's discuss.
Alright, so I love this opening.
Okay, normally I am like, Manic Pixie Dream Girl, you're exaggerating. Rachel is just a normal art student who goes on Tumblr.
Uh-huh.
No, it's so so much.
She's wearing a kimono.
She's wearing a kimono. Sheets are hung over a bunch of artist eels. Easels. Artist eels?
Artist eel. They're just eels who are artists. Okay?
No two songs on her iPod sound the same. They all have to be strange. Oh, Rachel. Oh, my dear, my darling girl.
She is a Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
She literally is. This is so clear. It's right there. I can't deny it any longer.
Like, we can say that she's that, and you can still like her. It is okay. It is fine. I'm not gonna hate you.
The trope has negative connotations, is all that I'm saying. And normally I think that she's better written than that, but he put her in a kimono.
It's fine.
Is she a white girl? Not that white people can't wear kimonos. I don't know. Just why? Why?
She is a rich white girl who lives in Brooklyn, okay?
Has Rachel been to Japan? Did she buy it there? I want to know about this now. This is the only thing I want to know about now, is where she got this kimono.
Listen, she's into anime.
Obviously.
The question is, did she get it in Japan, or did she go to Disney World?
Do they sell kimonos in Disney World?
Yeah, Epcot.
Huh.
You go to Japan
I see.
in Disney World.
I see.
I've gotten mochi there.
It's very funny to me, though, that that's the first place in America that you would think of being able to buy a kimono. Like, I can't think of anywhere else in particular, just Disney.
No, because obviously Rachel goes on expensive trips to places like that.
Mm-mm.
She could have also gone to Disney Sea in Japan. Tokyo Disneyland? Yeah,
something.
I'm sorry, I'm only thinking of Disney right now. That's all I can think of when people go on vacations. So yeah, she's a messy bitch, but also she's got a gigantic fucking room. It's twice the size of Percy's mom's apartment.
Yeah.
Just her bedroom is twice the size.
My girl rich.
Anyway, she's mad at Percy. She's throwing darts at his face.
At a painting that she has drawn of him, standing over the giant Antaeus.
Okay, I have questions about this. Because her dad immediately, he knows Percy, he's met Percy, he sees it, he immediately clocks, oh, you're mad at your friend. So he sees this drawing, or painting, of Percy killing a giant. What are his thoughts? Is the mist working on this painting?
No, I would not think so. I would think that it's just if you were Rachel's dad, you know she paints shit like this. Like, this would not strike me as weird for her to do at all. Like, she painted her friend/crush murdering a giant. Okay. It's definitely weird, but I don't think it would ping any alarms for Mr. Dare.
Okay. You know what? I'll agree with you that it's not going to ping alarms because she paints all the things that she sees through the mist all the time.
Yeah.
So this is part of her vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's always painting those. Because I was just like, bro, what do you think about this boy now? Do you think he fights with a sword? Do you think he killed a giant? Are you just like, man, she really has a crush on this guy? Like, what's happening here?
My assumption is the latter.
Yeah. Okay. This man has monogrammed pajamas.
Yeah, he does.
Like you would see, like, the first thought I could have, the only time I've seen this happen before, is the Santa Claus. Okay, I don't think we have a confirmed first name for this man.
It starts with a W.
It starts with a W. What's his name?
I think they might have told us, and I literally just forgot.
Let me see if
I don't think it's in this chapter.
I'm gonna see if there's a canonical name for him.
All right.
Because if not, we gotta guess his name, bro.
Walton or Warren. Warren's a good shitty man name.
Mr. W. Dare. That's what it says on his Riordan wiki page.
Okay, well, I vote Warren. No offense to any Warrens out there.
I mean, he could also be a basic white man, and it could be like William or something.
Oh, no, you're totally right. That William does feel correct.
And then everyone calls him Bill.
Oh no, you made him worse somehow.
Yeah. Because he's got all the bills. He's got all the money, you know? Bill Dare.
I think his name should be William Warren Dare, like how she's Rachel Elizabeth Dare.
Why is it WW?
Because it's funny to me.
Wait, what would be like a good funny middle name to make it like a word? Can you make that a word?
Wed? It's not a funny word.
Warren Elizabeth Dare. Wait a second. Wait, Elizabeth Warren Dare. I realized what I did there. Oh god. Yeah, okay. I tried. I was like, we gotta do some fun extrapolation here, because we have no name for this man. I'm calling him Bill.
So Bill.
So Bill Dare, he doesn't call Percy by his name, ever. He's your friend, or young man.
That's a very specific vibe. Rick is so good at people like this, you know? Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, I understand exactly what that means.
Rick knows the rich white man. He knows their vibe. He knows their fears. Yeah, it's fun to know that Percy and him have met off-screen, and...
Right, that Percy has hung out with the family of, like, the richest people in New York.
Has he met Mom?
Mm.
Is there a mom?
Mm.
Do we know about a mom?
Mm.
Like I said, I think according to the wiki, she exists, but I don't recall.
I believe she's been mentioned, yeah.
Oh yeah, right, she went to this school too.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, so they're leaving in the morning, even though it's like 3 a.m., so it's already morning, just so y'all know.
Not morning enough.
They're probably leaving in like 2 or 3 hours anyway.
No, I would also... No, I would be mad if I got woken up at 3 a.m. and we have to be in a plane at like 6. Disgusting.
I mean, usually like 3 a.m. is when we wake up when we're going on trips, but then again, they are rich, so maybe they're going at like 11 or something. Did they say they're going on a private jet? Because I assume they are.
I assume.
You know, that's what's gonna happen. So he's worried about their family's reputation, because she's having bad dreams and headaches again. Also, she's seen a therapist about, the death of her hamster.
When she was 6.
Not the bad dreams. Also, the phrase, I don't need a therapist. Rachel, I think you do.
Every single one of these children could use a therapist. But also, if you couldn't tell a therapist that you got attacked by the Lord of Time, Kronos, you know, maybe it wouldn't help that much.
No, that's why you need Dionysus as your therapist. He knows what's going on. I mean, he's kind of busy right now. But he is my godly therapist, personally. So, yeah. Okay, the phrase, you've had some unhealthy influences. Is he talking about Percy, or before that, Mr. Dare, sir?
It is hard to tell if he's specifically referencing Percy, or if he just, you know, if he's talking about, like, her...
The art students?
Yeah, and the art students, and, like, being a statue in the street, and, you know, it could be anything, literally.
Oh yeah, her terrible influences of like
raising
kids
money
at a high school that want to raise money for other kids
for charity,
to go to art class, you know?
Yeah.
Is that terrible?
Yeah.
Okay. We all know who he's a caricature of. Fuck this guy. But more importantly, he's gone now, and Rachel has other paintings.
Secret paintings.
2 secret paintings, one of which is of a young Luke. That's kind of creepy. Just a little bit. And he's like a happy young boy. It's before he became a demigod. Before he knew he was a demigod. And then the other is just like the Empire State Building, but spooky.
There's a dark storm cloud with a hand coming out of it, and there's an army at the base.
Yeah, what's going on? Huh? And then it's morning. Percy can't do anything about this. He can't call her. Because if he did, he'd have to ask for Annabeth's phone.
Okay.
And that's awkward.
They are so dysfunctional. Like, for real? For real.
Okay, they are 15, 16-year-old teenagers.
They are in a war. When you're in a war, you need to have priorities. I'm telling Clarice the same shit. Like, you put your petty shit aside, and you say, hey, this shit is important. Can I talk to you about it? You know?
They are. Okay, I get that they have to, like, be adults about a lot of things, but also they're dysfunctional teenagers at the same fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, they have to grow up so fast because they are half-bloods, but at the same time, they're still stupid, dysfunctional teenagers who don't know what the fuck's going on and have these emotions and hormones, and it's a mess, y'all. Okay? Okay?
I am simply not happy that Percy literally could have called Rachel and, like, sorted some of this shit out, maybe, and he just didn't.
Yeah, I have complex feelings about it. Like, Percy could do things, but also I understand. There's a lot going on. Alright, this is the cutest thing ever. Percy and Annabeth being like, well, we have to do these really dumb things that we don't want to do. Let's do it together so we can hang out. Okay, I don't know why this just reminded me of, like, when me and a friend will just, like, sit in a room together and play video games. like we're just in the same room.
We call that parallel play in the neurodivergent circles.
Exactly. Uh-huh. You know, sometimes we'll chat a little bit, but also we're just enjoying each other's company.
Right.
You know?
Well, this is like when you're like, oh, I have to go run errands. Want to come with me? And they're like, okay. You know, and you're like, I'm adding nothing to this situation, but I'm here for you.
Yeah, I mean, but they're also running totally separate errands at the same time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, like, I gotta go to this store, you gotta go to that store. Let's just do it at the same time. Save gas.
Yeah, it's just very sweet because presumably neither of them would like to be doing these chores, but they're like, we'll do both of them because if we do them together, it'll be better.
Yeah. Annabeth is so harsh on everybody's cabins, and Percy's trying to cut everyone some slack.
Well, mostly himself.
I mean, I think he tries to cut other people some slack, too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so, he gets himself a 3 out of 5.
Well, he gives himself a 4, and Annabeth's like, no,
yeah.
3.
No. Yeah, it's fine. Aphrodite gets 5 out of 5, of course. They're perfect. Everything is beautiful. Even though Selena is still... She's grieving, man. She's not okay right now. Okay, this is a fun thing we learn about. She's sitting with her chocolates, and we learn that her dad owns, this is in the past tense, a chocolate store in the village, and this is how he caught Aphrodite's attention. Even though his chocolate tastes like cardboard.
No, bro, she's depressed. His chocolate's delicious. It's because she can't taste anything because her emotions are on hold. Because she's, like, freaking out.
Okay, that's not how I interpreted it.
No, bro, oh my god. I cannot believe that that's how you were thinking of this. No, she says that because she's, like, that is indicative of her, like, emotional state.
I've not experienced this before.
That is so bizarre to me. Huh. No, sometimes you get, you have too many emotions, and then you have to go blank, and then food doesn't taste like anything.
I don't usually have food not taste like anything. This is interesting
yeah, this
to me.
is a symptom of depression.
Okay, maybe I'm cured. Maybe I never had it. I don't know. I haven't experienced cardboard food. I eat my emotions.
Disclaimer that not everyone has the same symptoms and that your experiences are valid. But no, this is totally like a really well-known thing.
I didn't know it, so it's clearly not that well known.
Where you're like, all of life has lost its luster. Nothing brings me joy anymore.
Okay, I can understand nothing brings me joy, but I'm still just like, I'm eating food that I like. Okay. Like, I still eat comfort food. I eat my emotions when I'm depressed. I don't have the cardboard taste. It's everything else. It's like doing an activity doesn't bring me joy. I'll still eat my emotions.
No, me too, though. People who lose weight when they're depressed, that's bad, but also, I gain weight when I'm depressed, and societally, that's worse for me, so,
yeah, I don't understand how you guys do it. I just want to eat food.
Literally.
It's terrible.
Is so painful.
And then I get more depressed, because I'm like, wow, I ate a lot of food. That was bad.
Yeah. You're like, why did I do that? I feel more uncomfortable and sad.
It's great! Depression! Okay, yeah. So what I had interpreted this as is that her dad had a really, really shitty chocolate shop. And somehow that caught the attention of Aphrodite. And I was gonna be like, I'm so confused by what is happening
My
here.
God. Because I was like, it's such a clever joke when Percy says, I didn't have anything against cardboard, so I tried one. Because obviously they don't taste like cardboard, they taste like chocolate. But, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. I too feel like I have tasted cardboard. That's called going to church.
I like the little wafers. Well, it does depend on the church. It
You
does depend on the church.
You are alone. You are alone in this. Who in their right mind likes to eat the Eucharist?
Good wafers at one of the churches I went to, and then I went to another church and I was like, God,
they're not meant
these
to
are
be
so
good.
shitty.
They're not meant to be good. They're meant to be shitty bread.
Why do they have to be shitty? There's no reason for that.
Because the only good thing about them is Jesus is in them.
They're unleavened. That doesn't mean that they have to be unflavored. You think Jesus would give his disciples shitty bread? No, never.
I do. I in fact do. And they took it because they were like, yeah, my boyfriend gave me this.
Sometimes you say things and I'm like, Apostles Polycule?
Yes.
Okay. We do not have time to get into that. We never have time to get into that.
My mental Bible fanfic where they're all in love with each other and Mary Magdalene is the only girl. Who's Polycule. So there is a chariot. That's right. It also has 2 Pegasi, so they have 2 cool Pegasi. They're cool. That's pretty cool. Why haven't they just, like, built another chariot?
It's a special cool chariot.
I'm gonna be honest. Why don't we just build another fucking chariot? We have Pegasi in the stables.
And we know that people build chariots for, like, the chariot races that one time, so, like...
Yeah, why haven't we built some battle chariots? Why are we so fixated on this one thing?
Like,
I'm be honest.
I'm sure that it's valuable for some reason. It has not been made clear if there is. It's
valuable because they haven't built battle chariots. Because they do not think like I do.
Well, maybe they're too fucking busy to make battle chariots. Maybe they just do not have the time, and also Beckendorf died, so they can't.
That's true. They don't have their best builder here. But I'm just like, did none of the chariots from, like, 2 years ago not survive?
No, they all blew up.
I can't remember the end of that, honestly. I would have said, whichever one survived, you should just, like, find a way to attach some horses to them and make them flying chariots. God fucking damn it, you have some stuff lying around. Use it! Use it for the war! Anything that exists, you gotta use. Okay? So, this is a pretty cool chariot, though, I guess. Percy's like, it's a pretty sweet ride, I guess. But Ares and Apollo are fighting each other. They're throwing bombs at each other.
Okay, I am really curious, because this is happening at the Ares cabin. The chariot is flying around it. The roof of the cabin is on fire. Like, it's very bad. But that implies that the Apollo cabin is aggressing, which wouldn't seem right because
that does seem very strange to me.
Yeah, they're not the ones who are wanting something that the other person has. Maybe the Ares cabin started this shit somehow. I really do not know. But if they're just attacking them because they, like, said some mean things about them and their cool chariot, like, guys, that would be fucked up.
Yeah, I would think that it should have gone the other way around, unless this is, like, retaliation.
Right, exactly.
This must be retaliation for something that Ares did.
That's what I'm assuming, first. But that is not in the text.
Yeah, it's not in the text, so it seems very strange and out of place that Apollo, who has this advantage, is attacking them.
But this is maybe why Clarice is so fucking mad. Maybe people really are just like, Ares sucks! We're attacking you now.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb. It does also, I did just realize also these cabins are literally right next to each other, 5 and 7. So they would be, they're on the male cabin side.
Well, anything could be happening then.
Yeah, so they must be just, like, throwing bombs at each other, like, every 5 minutes.
Oof.
If they can. But also, they're throwing bombs at each other. These are children. It's kind of upsetting a little bit.
They're always using live weaponry.
Yeah. I do have questions about the cursing, though. I think this is the first time we've seen this kind of powers.
Yeah. Apparently anybody can just do this shit? The fuck?
Okay. Ares campers can turn the Apollo arrows into rubber, and the Apollo kids can curse people to rhyme.
So I'm assuming that they are asking their parents for a favor? They're like, Dad, that kid is mean to me and shooting arrows at me. Turn his arrows into rubber. I don't...
I wonder if it's that, or if it's, like, actually magic. I need someone to get on this.
Does this ever happen again? Like, in your recollection? Is this...
Do I need to text Owen about this? Do I...
Probably.
Give me a second. Give me 2 seconds. Before I forget, I'm gonna be like, hey Owen, can you explain this? He's definitely not awake right now, right?
That's fine. Well, just know that this is fucking weird. So we have the rubber curse, and then we also have, the Apollo kids have cursed some of the Ares kids to, speak only in poetry. Like that one Danny Phantom episode where he had to do the whole episode as a storybook character, or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's the Christmas episode.
Yeah, that Christmas episode where, it was in the meter of, like, rhyming. 'Twas the night before Christmas.
Wait, because that guy's the ghostwriter?
I get the pun. I get the pun.
I just love it. Okay. Sorry, I'm texting Owen right now.
Okay. So I don't think that we, like, really talked about it before, but the chariot is what we have replaced, a human woman with. And so this is the issue. They are fighting because the Ares cabin was leading a battle, a raid. And so they said, we should get this chariot that is one of the spoils of our war. Whereas the Apollo kids were the ones who actually seized it during the battle. So they're saying this is ours because we physically seized it. Ares is saying it was our raid and we deserve it.
And I'm saying that, hey guys, you can have joint custody of this child.
I really don't think they can, seeing how they are acting otherwise.
I mean, yes, I understand. Again, they are dumb teenagers. One thing, if you're a teenager listening to this, hi Jish. What are you doing here? But also, sorry to any teenagers who are listening as we call you dumb continuous.
Teenagers know that sometimes their choices are not the best. Things happen. Shit happens, especially in high school.
I was once one of you. I understand. I was also dumb.
No, as a teenager, you just do and say stuff, and then you're like, why the fuck did I do or say that?
Ray, I still do that.
No, me too, though. But, like, that's because we have anxiety. Yes.
Yeah.
See, when you're a teenager, you actually do and say dumb shit. We just, like, act, like, a slightly annoying, and then we're like, I think I should go be in a hole forever now.
Oh my god, you're dragging me. My entire life right there. Yeah, I don't know why. When I used to read this, I definitely was just like, oh yeah, like obviously the Apollo cabin gets it because their dad also had a flying chariot, like the sun. I don't know why that was like in my brain whenever I used to read this book, but yeah. But all the gods technically have flying chariots. They just have different things pulling them. Except, I think Ares also has horses. I want to say his is pulled, like, by black horses or something. No, wait, in Percy Jackson, it's skeletal horses, isn't it?
Yeah, or something.
Right?
Because we literally just saw it.
We did just literally do that. And they all have fucking chariots.
In that little, like, short story that we read. Or was that a different chariot that Clarice was stealing from somebody? I don't remember.
that was Ares. That was Ares' chariot.
Yeah. I don't remember what the horses looked like. I know that they were fucked up.
I'm pretty sure they went with, like, skeletal horses. Why? Just because that's fucking metal?
Yeah, it is.
Hades is the one who needs skeletal horses, not Ares. Unless Hades' are, like, zombie horses. Okay. So, Percy brings up a really good point. We're fighting for our lives, and they're bickering about some stupid chariot. And Annabeth thinks that Clarice will come to her senses, which, that's not like her.
Literally just give them what they want. When you have a Clarice or an Achilles on your team, and you're like, I know that you're very, very good at war, but you're also really stubborn and angry all the time for no reason. Especially about this one particular thing. I think that you need to just, like, give in, or else they're not gonna be on your team and you need to accept that. I don't know why we're fighting. It's not good. Anyways, if I was the Apollo cabin, if I was the head of the Apollo cabin, I'd be like, this chariot is not that fucking important to me.
Yeah. I have a question for you. So, if we're comparing Clarice to Achilles, I never would have thought we'd do that. So his fatal flaw, I believe it's most likely wrath, which, hey, guess what? That's like the first word of the Iliad as well. Wrath. Do we think that could also maybe be a contender for her fatal flaw? I think we said, like, it was just stubbornness, but
I feel like there is some overlap there. Because
like,
stubbornness does not fully encompass what I want to say Clarice's fatal flaw is. Because Clarice's fatal flaw to me is not exactly wrath and not exactly stubbornness. It's more like an unwillingness to see things from someone else's point of view. Clarice is very set in her own ways and her own standards, and she does not change easily.
Unwavering.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
I gave you the word. Yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit. Okay, so, Demeter gets a 4, Hephaestus gets a 3, but, we're cutting them slack because they probably should have gotten lower, because their dude is
yeah,
dead.
you know, when the head of your cabin dies, maybe?
We give them a passing grade and we move on. Okay? And then we get a little sentence about why Hermes is always so messy. It gets a 2. And then we got to the Athena cabin, which would have gotten a 5 out of 5. If not for this stupid fucking head counselor who didn't clean up her goddamn bunk.
And her siblings cleaned up everything else in the cabin, but they're like, we're not gonna touch your stuff. Like,
you know what? She would have stabbed them if they had.
That is the implication here, yes.
But, what's really interesting here is that all the Athena kids just leave the cabin so they can inspect the cabin. It's fine. But you're not supposed to be alone with someone else in a cabin.
Yeah, they would literally were not even supposed to do that. If they were following the rules, they would have hung out. But, you know, now Percy's thinking about that, like, you're not supposed to be just two campers alone in a cabin,
I'm actually surprised about what's going on here. I would have thought Athena kids were, like, more lawful, you know?
No, I don't. Because
No.
Athena is also a trickster. Not exactly, but she is a strategist, and she loves strategists and tricksters in war.
I almost feel like you're conflating her with what she likes. I don't think Athena herself is a trickster.
No, you're right, she's not, but...
She likes a tricky bitch, but she herself is the lawful, neutral person.
No, she's not. She's a strategist. She comes up with sneaky plans.
Yeah, but she herself doesn't usually come off as sneaky. I don't know.
I don't think of her as lawful. I see why you would, but I don't. I think, in my brain, she's true neutral.
You know what? We should have done this in our D&D episode. Hey, check out our Patreon if you want to listen to our D&D episode.
Well, double plug.
Percy Jackson. We should have gone over what everyone's alignments were. I did have their alignments written down. I just forgot to go over that. I talked about everything else but their alignments.
But yeah. The Athena kids, pulling some clever wingman shit. I'm like, that tracks perfectly for me.
It definitely tracks for how we've seen Malcolm before. Our one named Athena camper besides Annabeth. He appeared last book, and he was also a wingman who, left them alone when they were having a moment.
Is this the only thing Malcolm does?
It is! He is her wingman. He's her brother. Younger, older, unclear. Honestly, he could be an older brother because, Annabeth was super young when she became head counselor.
Yeah.
This could be a 17-year-old or something.
She's got the most experience, okay?
Yeah. Anyway, we gotta talk about something. Why demigods can date. Even though Selena and Beckendorf were technically step-siblings.
Oh boy.
They don't say that, but they are.
Oh my god.
Their parents are married.
Their parents are married. Their parents are married.
They are step siblings.
Is that the right terminology there? Because their parents were already married when they were born.
Yeah, but if you have a sibling who has a different parent than you, and these
generally
one of these pairs of parents are married, I think that's called a step sibling.
I really do not know.
Even if the children were out of wedlock.
No.
Okay. Right?
I
don't know.
I don't know.
They're not half siblings. They're not full siblings.
They're not either of those.
They would be considered siblings because their parents are married.
Their parents are I guess step siblings is the only thing
I think so.
that makes any sense, but in my brain you only become step siblings if your parents get married after you are already born.
Well, that's usually how it works in the real world. At least, I mean, we don't know. There could be other situations in the real world where this happens.
Because it's if your parent... Okay, let's really think this out. If two people are married and one of them has a child outside of wedlock and
your
they
bastard
are not
child, yes,
raised by the... Because in generally, you would just be you would be raised by the married couple, and those would be your parents. Just straight up.
You can be that person's not my parent because they didn't raise me. You can be that shit about it. But I mean, if you're looking for a term for how they would be on a family tree.
No.
No?
Two people are married. One of them has a child out of wedlock. And then that child is raised by the person who has nothing to do with the marriage.
Yeah.
I don't think you have any relation to your parents' spouse. I don't...
Okay, once again, I'm gonna say what you're thinking about is socially, and what I'm thinking about is the very actual legally on a family tree, they are.
And I'm saying I don't...
It's also funnier.
No, I mean, you're right. If they're step-siblings, that is, sure something. But I'm that is not the definition of step-sibling in my brain. I'm that doesn't work for me. But I don't actually know what the definition of step-sibling is.
If you have thoughts about
if you
what's happening
actually
here,
know what the the like technical legal definitions are in this situation, you know, hit us up. Send us a message to our email. That's what it's for.
Oh god.
You know, for fun facts about godly family trees.
Yeah. So we stopped there. We didn't even get to the part where, hey, guess what? It's fine for them to date. The gods don't have DNA. Because none of them are actually related on the godly side, I guess. But like, don't date someone in your cabin. That's
why not then?
Gross.
These are double standards.
Yeah, that is a fucking double standard if I ever heard one.
If they don't have DNA, why do they have gray eyes when they're Athena children? Why do they look like their parents?
No, remember, Athena just married, or not married, not even fucked, just like got really interested in a bunch of like people, I'm not even gonna say just dudes, that had blonde hair and gray eyes, and she's like, man, that person, they're real smart. Thought baby. That's it. She just like, she has a type.
I did not get that impression, no.
She has a type.
No, the implication is that the gray eyes are from Athena. That is 100% what has been put forward by these books this entire time.
How is Frederick Chase described?
I do not think he has gray eyes.
Frederick Chase. I'm just going to the wiki. Okay, no, he has brown eyes. Okay.
Yeah, literally. No, it's from Athena. She has fucking DNA. Okay?
I'm gonna go. I'm not going to name this character, but if you know, you know. There is another relation to Annabeth, who is not related to Athena, who has gray eyes. Anyway.
Well, Rick's getting it twisted then.
Yeah,
who knows what's going on?
Yeah, that is Rick being like, I forgot what I said. Anyway, I did also hear that on the Chalice of the Gods tour, somebody asked him about this thing.
Oh?
Asked him about the gods not having DNA and how the fuck that works. Yeah. And he didn't have a good answer.
Well, that's because there is no answer. The answer is it's for plot convenience, so that you feel less weird about your ships.
Does this mean that gods can commit murders and never be found out?
I mean, they could already
because
do that.
But they can't leave behind evidence. Because they have no DNA.
No, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, their blood isn't even blood, it's ichor. Like, they aren't human.
Does that mean demigods only leave behind, like, half DNA? Now I'm gonna Steven Universe it a little bit.
No. Anyways,
so
the idea that they are not related is 100% ridiculous, actually.
No, but actually, so the gods are rose quartz. And the humans are Greg.
Rose
quartz doesn't have DNA. Is what I'm saying here.
That is 100% true and accurate. And also, Stephen does look like his mother, but she did pass on something else to him that would affect the way that he looks and acts and appears.
So, if we're doing this as a 1-to-1, what did the gods give these kids? Is it just the powers?
Magical godliness, yeah. Like,
that's it?
They pass on magic that makes them look like them and have powers like them.
Even though they have no DNA.
It's just in there.
Also, more importantly, Athena kids, none of them have DNA.
Okay, hold up. Yeah.
No. They're born?
No, the Athena kids actually make more sense like this. Like, they're fine. My question is the rest of them? If your god has no DNA, they have no chromosomes. How do you sexually reproduce without DNA?
Athena kids have no DNA.
True.
Because they are born without, like, sex even being involved. It's just Athena. Yeah. It's not even the man. Annabeth does not have a belly button. This is something she says in a later book where she's like, no, I do have a belly button. And I'm like, you draw that on in the morning. She's a liar. She does not have a belly button, and I will fight.
God.
There's no logical reason for her to have a belly button.
Anyways, if you can't have chromosomes, you can't reproduce sexually. Case closed. None of this makes any sense.
Are donkeys like mules? Or donkeys like mules? Are gods like mules?
Okay. Because the thing with mules is that they are hybrids, which means that their chromosomes are, like, misaligned. Like, the count is different from both of their parent species.
Oh, so, well, they have DNA.
Yeah, no.
That's different.
The demigods, though, they probably have all... That's
Oh my
fascinating
God,
because
wait.
the demigods are the mules. And so...
Oh, shit! Wait. Okay, but we do have factual evidence that
Yes,
demigods
can in fact reproduce.
Because we have Icarus. I can extrapolate that, like, there's, like, a bunch of different characters we've mentioned that are demigods of demigods or something.
Yes,
but, like,
yes.
in this series, we have Daedalus, who has no DNA.
So basically, the mule comparison is not 1-to-1. And that's because there is no science. It's all magic. Do not fucking worry about it. And yet, somehow, I continue to worry about it. But the thing is that as a child, you read this and you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. I never had any thoughts about it.
More importantly than just every other cabin, like, you can fuck your sibling because you don't have the same DNA. Except for Connor and Travis. They're special, okay?
Well,
they're
obviously, if you have the same human parent, then you are.
That's different.
Yeah.
Obviously. But all the Athena kids can definitely fuck because they have no DNA whatsoever.
Basically, they're just squicked out by it, which is valid.
Like, oh my god. I can't with this. Anyway. I just need to stop saying, like, these children can fuck. You know what I mean. I mean, like, they can, like, get together.
Oh my god.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm just like...
neither.
This is not what I'm implying, internet. Just so y'all know. Okay. So... I don't even know where we are.
Okay.
What's happening?
Cabin mates are adopted siblings, which is still generally considered incest, so... They're
not adopted siblings.
They are, though. They are living together. They consider...
Do you adopt your own sibling?
Like, not legally adopted, socially adopted. They have adopted each other as siblings, like, mentally and socially.
I have not heard... I mean, like, I definitely do this. But I'm also, like, I haven't heard of this. Like, as a phenomenon, as, like, an actual, like, thing that is accepted by society, and not just, like, hey, and our friend group has this as a family tree. This person is the mom.
Well, I mean, people do that, but, like, that's always kind of weird and jokey. Like...
Yeah, I've only ever heard it in that context, and not what you're saying is like, yeah, you can adopt your sibling, like, socially. That's, like, a thing. I don't know, you're saying it in a way that it sounds like it's an official factual thing, and I've not heard that.
It's like how in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, in certain iterations, they consider April O'Neil to be, like, their sister. And in some of them they don't, but in some of them they do.
Charlie is dead.
It happens a lot in media where they're like, you're part of the family now, in, like, a way that is...
I mean, that's found family. Yes, okay. I mean, I just don't hear it as, like adopted siblings. I hear found family. It's the terminology you're using that's throwing me off.
I don't know. I feel like that is a concept that I have come across, but I have no examples except for the one that I literally just gave you, so...
Yeah. It's the terminology that's just throwing me off.
Okay.
Okay.
This has been a spicy meatball of an episode.
Okay. So Percy and Annabeth are trying to have some romantic tension, and it's really not working.
Okay.
Is what's happening here.
Percy is so funny to me.
So how is your, like, kind of asexual brain dealing with this?
Oh, no. This is fine. What I was actually going to talk about was Percy being like, I'm thinking about how we're not related because gods don't have DNA. And then he's like, for some strange reason I was thinking about this. And then,
yeah, that's really dumb. We don't need to explain why he's thinking about it. Just have it be something that's in there and then move on.
No, like, It's
Don't have a transition. I don't want it.
No, the for some strange reason, he's thinking about this because he's thinking about how he has a crush on her, but not, like, consciously. Percy is a very unconscious thinker. He is not aware of his own feelings, and this is causing huge problems for him and Annabeth. Like, it is very obvious this entire passage that she is mad that he is not taking initiative in their relationship. And Percy does not once acknowledge that in the narration.
Yeah.
He's a fascinating little guy.
He's just a little guy.
When we did our episodes on the musical, not to bring up old wounds, but I had complaints about how I felt that the songs were written with too much emotional awareness and intelligence. They very much just kind of tell you how they're feeling, and I was like, Percy Jackson would never tell me how he's feeling. He doesn't fucking know.
Oh, God.
Anyways.
Yeah.
It's the repression for me.
I don't know why. That just made me think of Ace Attorney, and how, like, Phoenix thinks things all the time, and then he just doesn't say anything. And like, you don't notice it when you're playing the trilogy, but when you're playing other games, apparently, and you're not inside of Phoenix's head, you're just like, what the fuck are you thinking, dude? Come on, you didn't say anything. He's just staring at me. What's happening?
Yeah, from the perspective of other characters, Phoenix Wright seems like a genius because they can't see him like desperately trying to make connections in his brain. He just like says something, and then you're like, oh my god, they are the killer.
Maybe that's just how geniuses are. Maybe that's actually how they work.
The thing about Phoenix Wright is that he is just faking it like 20% of the time.
Only 20%?
Yeah, that was a really low number. I don't know why I said that.
I would have said 80%.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant to say, I think. But anyways.
You swapped the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking about with Percy. Like, he's just like, he's not even really thinking about it. It's like unconscious in the back of his head.
Right.
Somehow.
Like, his feelings are very present. He's noticing Annabeth's earrings. He's feeling uncomfortable that they're alone together. And then he's like, so about Rachel.
Yeah. I mean, I also do love the ADHD of like, you know, I'm seeing the connections he's making in his brain while they're having this conversation too, where she's like, about losing people who are important, and instead of like him thinking like, oh, it's him, he sees her owl earrings, thinks about her dad, and is like, oh, so how about your family? Like, you know, like, do you see that ADHD connection right there as he's making it? Because I see it. I can extrapolate that. Yeah, but he kind of did need to talk about the Rachel thing. Some of that stuff was important.
No, he did,
and it does help him think about ideas. Like he already knew what they had to do, but he was just like, "Am I right, Annabeth? You're the planner. Am I right? You know."
Okay. We need to talk about that a little bit more, but before we get to it, they haven't even heard from Grover.
Yeah, they haven't. Okay, this letter is also important.
It sure is. I was like, what the fuck? But we can't even talk about it, so.
Good. I'm glad you noticed. Foreshadowing?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a character who will come back.
Let me just say, yeah, Gleason Hedge, that is a name that you should be remembering. I cannot believe that it's right here.
Okay.
It's not gonna appear in this book. It's not, yeah.
So I did briefly look up his name. To be like, does this work?
Well, I mean, hedge. He's a fucking shrubbery.
Yeah. Okay, so I was trying to look up Gleason, because I'm like, okay, hedge. Yeah, he's a shrub. And it was like, oh yeah, it's an Irish name, and it means, like, green, but, like, not, like, the color green, it means, like, inexperienced, and I'm like, what the fuck are you going on about Ireland?
Oh, so, like, young and inexperienced. Like, yeah. You're green at that.
I've never heard this before in my life.
No, that's totally a thing.
Charlie doesn't know shit, just so y'all know.
Yes, if you say that someone is very green, that means that they're very new and inexperienced.
Well, I hate everything. I guess that also kind of works, because he's like, I don't understand the power of Pan, it's not working. Yeah. He's a new character.
New satyr. Anyways, that's a guy.
I'm trying to extrapolate. Anyway, there's a giant evil badger in
Yeah,
Toronto.
fucked up.
Hey, look! Hey, Juice! Is Canada okay? It's being attacked by a badger. So they still have the empathy link because I don't know if that's possible to get rid of. I maybe not.
But apparently it's not fucking working, which is insane to me. This is just for plot convenience.
They can't send him iris messages, and Percy's just like, I don't know what's going on with him. Have you tried connecting with him, Percy? Have you actually tried? He's just like, I guess he hasn't died, because I haven't died. Plot twist. Grover's the one who gets his soul ripped. And then Percy just flat out dies. Because of it.
That would be fucked up.
That's how the thing happened. Oh my god. Yeah, so Percy explains to Rachel, like I said, it's about strategy. Typhon is a distraction, and then the Titans are gonna hit Olympus because the gods are distracted. But Annabeth's like, Rachel's immortal, she doesn't know anything. Don't listen to her.
So what's interesting here is that Annabeth clearly knows that Percy is right. You know, to me, she's like, yes, that would make sense, but also don't worry about it because that is too stressful to even think about right now.
Yeah. She also just doesn't want to be like, Rachel is right. I guess. That's also why she's getting really jealous in this situation at the same time.
Well, she seems so fine about it at first. Okay, so this conversation is fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
Because Annabeth is saying, Percy is like trying to think this through. He's like, okay, what are the Titans doing? And Annabeth says, we'll just have to be ready. And Percy says, how? Our camp is in shambles. And I'm gonna like die, apparently. And she gets super angry about this. She says, we shouldn't have shown you that prophecy. It scared you, and you run away from things when you're scared. Which is a really interesting thing to say about Percy fucking Jackson.
It really is. That's untrue.
Except for in his emotions. Socially, yes, he does run away. She says, you're a coward. Because he won't even, like, consider talking to her, working things out with their relationship. Yeah, this is 100% what she is on about.
Yeah.
And then, still, because she's thinking about the relationship with that, then she's like, maybe you should just go on your stupid little vacation with Rachel. And it's like, Annabeth, please! But, I mean, there is something to be jealous of there. Like, we saw the scene at the beginning of the book. Like,
it's so interesting when Annabeth gets emotional like this, you know? She just went from, like, 0 to 100.
She did.
Like, all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, yeah, I'm trying to, like, strategize with you because you're my strategy friend. Mm-hmm. And then she's just like, nope, fuck this. Because you said the wrong thing. Yeah.
Anyways, I still don't understand or enjoy jealousy as a storytelling device, so... or at all in real life.
You don't understand jealousy in real life?
No, not that I don't understand it, I just... well, I guess I don't. I've been jealous of people. I've, like, my best friend started hanging out with somebody else when I went to a different school for a semester. And then I was like, what the fuck? We're best friends. And I was, like, a little sad about it. But I wasn't, like, a dick about it. I was normal. Anyways.
Hey, bro. I'm jealous of, like, Teddy and Andy because they get to hang out with you all the time.
Oh, babe. But see, would you be a dick to me or Teddy or Andy because of that? Clearly not. Right. You're very normal.
How dare you? Take that back. I'm not normal.
Never been normal in my life. No, that's a mood. It just seems so, like, petty and shitty to me. Like, okay, and I probably shouldn't say that, because it's a very normal emotion that people have all the time, and I could probably offend somebody in our audience. I'm not trying to be mean.
Jealousy is a normal emotion. Raye is just immune.
I'm not immune. Like, I don't know. It just is not a good look to me. It's not a good look for Annabeth here, to me, and in most situations. Yeah. When I read fanfiction and they're like, you can see how much they care because they're so jealous and, like, possessive and protective, and I'm like, literally, do not. I hate this. Jealousy is, like, the opposite of romantic to me.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Anyways, so that's probably a me thing, but also I'm like, Annabeth, stop.
Bro, we have happy things to talk about. Actually,
no, we don't. We have a funeral.
Let's go to the funeral. Let's go immediately from jealousy to we're burning the chainmail shroud. This is fucking badass as hell. And how does it burn? We don't know.
It's magic. We live in a world with gods in it. Do not fucking worry about it.
I want to know why the Fates are helping this out. Why are they controlling this fire?
Wait, what?
That's what Percy said. He's like, the Fates must have been helping out. And I'm like, what? How? What? Why are you bringing them into this? What did they have to do with this middle shroud? Explain! I would have said, like Hestia or somebody who actually deals with fire, personally.
I think that it's just because the gods are so personified that you would be like, it brings personality into the equation if you consider, like, Hestia purposefully doing something. When the Fates do shit, they're just, like, esoteric, you know? It's...
I guess.
It's more conceptual than if we bring one of the gods or something into it. I think that that's why it's written that way.
Yeah. Annabeth is still not speaking to Percy. And then Percy goes and talks to Selena, who's hanging out with Clarice, and Chris, who is her trophy boyfriend, who never speaks, basically.
Leave him alone. He's a good boy. He's doing his best.
I just think it's so funny. Also, like, is he not one of our only named, like, people of color? This Hispanic man in the background?
Oh boy.
Who never speaks. I'm just thinking about it, okay? Yeah, so Percy goes to say, hey, I'm sorry, but I want you to know Beckendorf was carrying your picture because, you know, he cared about you. And yeah, she's gonna cry again.
You know, he says that, which, like, is very, like, you can see how that would hurt very badly. And so I feel like his last line here is very good when he says, you made the last year the best of his life. Like, that is like, I'm like, Percy, you're such a good boy. Like,
he's not good with his own emotions, but he's helping out a friend. Okay?
He literally just represses everything all the time, but he's so kind.
He's a good kid.
Good kid. Good son. Anyways, Clarice is not very impressed with his speech, though, because Selena is, you know, sobbing.
Yeah, she goes off and cries in the corner. We don't see her again. And Clarice wants to punch Percy for all of this, and how the fact that he's like, you could honor Beckendorf's memory by fighting with us.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And he even tries to, like, bribe her and be like, hey, remember Sea of Monsters? I saved your fucking ass. You owe me.
Okay, and she says, yeah, I do, but ask for any other favor. I'm not doing this for you. Which, like, they have a mutual respect. But anyways, but she does have anger issues. She is like, I will stab you for this shit. Stop talking about it.
She did try to grab for her knife.
Yeah.
So, really. And he just, like, yeah, she, I don't know who I'm talking about right now. Blah, blah, blah. Clarice will not help, no matter what. She does not care if Kronos wins, even though she logically does care.
Right. But, okay, what does she say here? The Ares cabin has been dissed too many times, and I don't know what people say about me behind my back. And Percy, like, they're in the middle of an argument, and he almost says, well, it's true, but he doesn't.
What do they say about her?
That she's a big dumb bully, I would bet. Something like that, you know?
That she's a meanie butt?
Mm-hmm.
Because she is a meanie butt?
So this is fascinating to me. And I feel like we're not going to dig any deeper into that, but that specific line, I think, is really, really interesting. Because you can see, like, how that would work. Because when Percy first gets to camp, it feels like the Ares cabin kids are, like, at the top of the heap. Because, you know, it's like prison rules. You go beat up the biggest guy you see.
Yeah.
Like, they are the ones doing the hazing and, like, you know. But
except they're not the cool kids.
They are not. They are not respected by anyone else, which makes total sense given their dad's kind of position as an Olympian. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone particularly respects Ares. They kind of tolerate him as a necessary evil.
No. In Greek mythology, Ares is just kind of like, yeah, I mean, he's the god of, like, war, but we're not gonna, like, be super great about that. Athena is the war goddess that we respect and we love. He's the bloodthirsty one. If you want respect for him, you gotta go to Rome. They really liked Mars.
And Clarice never says, you need to respect my dad. She says, my cabin deserves respect. I feel like she's kind of, like, growing past the need for approval from her shitty, abusive father. But she does deserve respect as her own person. Like, she is a cool, badass girl who I love. So I can kind of see, like, where these, like, interpersonal camp dynamics could be coming into play, and how maybe this really is the last straw for her. Because she's not saying, I will never fight for you. She's saying, give me the fucking chariot. And maybe this is just the, like, amount, maybe a fucking war is the leverage she needs. Because I think that she is expecting this to work eventually, or else she wouldn't be doing it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
The important thing is that this argument ends with Percy calling her a big baby.
Uh-huh.
And then Chris is like, well, maybe he's got a point. And that's not great. Poor Chris Rodriguez.
Literally everyone in camp is against her, and it's because she's taking this stand that she's not gonna fight. Like, because at the meeting that we had earlier, everyone was like, no, Apollo has the better claim. Sorry, Clarice. And she said, literally no one is on my side? Okay, I'm not on any of your side either. But, so the fact that, like, even her boyfriend is like, I think maybe you should probably, fight in the war.
Yeah.
He isn't even saying you don't deserve the chariot. He's saying that this other thing is more important. But in Clarice's mind, it all translates to you don't deserve the chariot. Because that's all she's asking for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that I talked too much and kind of went circular there, but...
Bro, you need to talk more in these episodes. Fine.
Alright. Anyways, they leave. Clarice storms off. People storm off a lot recently.
That's how you end a chapter, is people storm off, and then you just cut to black, you know?
People run away, or they storm off, or they pass out. You know, transitionary things.
Yes, that's how people transition.
God. Anyways, Percy says that he wants to see an old friend, and the chapter ends on that little tease.
Knowing the name of the next chapter, I know who this old friend is!
Yeah, I kind of figured it out just now. But anyways. It's on the next page, it's right there, yeah.
Well, we sure did this fun chapter. It was sure fun!
I think I had a great time.
We got to rant so much. That's what's important to me.
We sure did. I don't know that we said anything of value, but we sure did talk. Anyways,
we sure miss Taylor.
I don't have anything to plug, so you think of something.
Oh, well, obviously I'm gonna plug Chalice of the Gods. Even though, like, if you know, like, you need the no spoiler stuff, that we provide here on Of the Old Gods, maybe, read other things first. But, that's my plug. I'm in, like, chapter 13 or 14 right now. I'm enjoying it. It is a nostalgia trip for sure. It's giving me the Percy Jackson that I need in the year of our Satan 2023.
God.
That's just what I say now.
Do you?
I need to. I feel the need to say the full, like, the year of our Lord, but I don't want to invoke the Christian God.
You just have to pick a different lord, which I guess you did, which is apparently Satan.
Yeah, the
How's the conversion to Satanism going, Charlie?
It's going real good, okay? You know what I do? You know how I revere our Lord Satan? Wait, I can't plug anything. Never mind.
Oh my god!
I was gonna say I watch a certain TV show named after him, which I'm not plugging. I'm not recommending anyone watch. Okay, move on, please.
I've been reading the TMNT, The Last Ronin comic series. It's a short run set in an apocalyptic future when 3 of the Ninja Turtles are dead and the last one is trying to avenge his family.
I think you've definitely explained this one to me before.
Yeah, but I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast. So, it's a pretty well done little comic series, and it's a lot more accessible than, comic runs that go forever. So if you want to try out reading a Ninja Turtles comic, I would say not a terrible place to start, even though it's technically like the ending.
It's almost like this is one of your favorite franchises.
Yeah. Not that I am into the comics in particular. I did read the first volume of TMNT, but that's just like history, so.
I'm so surprised you didn't make a Ninja Turtles podcast.
Someday. I've definitely thought about it, 100%, but...
Oh my goodness.
I'm not even, particularly knowledgeable about Ninja Turtles. You have to understand this.
I'm so surprised by this fact. Alright. This is an episode.
It sure is. Oh, releases from this mortal coil. I'm sorry, I forget that you're waiting for me. I don't have that in my brain.
It's funny every time that you apologize for it. I shall release us from this mortal coil.
I'm just like, why isn't the podcast over yet?
Yeah. You have to trigger me with the phrase, okay?
Uh-huh. It's a delicate series of operations.
Oh my goodness. Okay. How do I end this? I forgot.
How about you get out of my fucking cabin?
Oh, okay. Are we having a battle over Cherry right now?
Yeah, get out of my fucking cabin. The roof is on fire. I'm cursing you, so you can only speak in couplets now.
I think that's the wrong power, but okay, sure.
Our thanks go out to Matt for his incredible support and generosity, to all of our other Patreon supporters for helping us out for so long, and to you for listening. You make what we do worth it. You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr, and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send us an iris message through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about episodes and anything Percy Jackson related. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology. No promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can find me, Raye, at HeyHeyRaye, spelled R-A-Y-E, on Twitter. If you want to hear more from me, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
And you can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mac. That's M-A-C-K. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I as in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter.
She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast.
I'm Christina Kahn.
And I'm Leela Hilton.
And this is Burn Before Reading,
the podcast about shiterature.
We're here to examine the terrible writing we did when we were younger.
Like that school project you were really proud of.
Or that poem you wrote when you got dumped.
Well, how about that apology letter you wrote to your mom when you got into that fight?
Or the song you recorded before you knew how to write music.
Okay, don't at me. And we're here to talk about other cringy literary topics along the way.
Like the Library of Alexandria.
And Dewey Decimal.
His name was Melville Dewey.
Oh, well, do we want to get the clips rolling?
I don't think I ever recovered from this in terms of being cool.
Why did I say any of this?
I do like the drama.
So there is actually quite a bit to unpack here.
Oh, all this drama was so addictive as a teenager.
There's no punctuation to it. I'll start with that.
I actually have no memory of this.
There were so many lies that I was telling it.
It's not terrible.
No one really taught me how to write a good short story.
That was a journey.
Listen to Burn Before Reading
every Wednesday wherever pods are cast.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Dionysus kids curse you, and then you're physically drunk, even though you didn't drink.
See, that seems rude to do to a teenager. But also, I'm like, there's nothing better.
No,
I can make you have hallucinations.
No, wait. You just have the hangover. You just cursed to have the hangover. Not even.
That's even worse.
Dave X Media.